Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and today I've got two beauties here with me for a quick comparison review, but hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see what do we have here, because in the house we have two Shirogorov custom division, very similar with some subtle differences, so let's check them out. This is the Shirogorov custom division F95 Antique, and this is the Shirogorov F5 Silk Slim. Two outstanding knives, like among my favorite blades for sure. They have lots of things in common, like the size. Of course, its overall size is going to be around, let's see, 8.75 inches. Blade size also is going to be 3.85 inches long, so same deal. Also, blade profile is exactly the same. They are both sporting S90V steel, and the jimping, of course, it's the same pattern at least, and then of course plunge grind, everything else is gonna be the same from the blade perspective, except for the finish, because the F5 Silk Slim, which is this guy, has I would say a little bit of a darker finish to it and finer grind. The F95 Antique is sporting some sort of very, very light stonewash, like really light. I don't know if you can appreciate the difference, but the F5 is kind of like bead blast or a vapor blast. There's some sort of very fine finish to it. Also, if you notice the flats, F5 Silk Slim is has mirror polished flats right over here, whereas the F95 Antique has satin flats. Like both are beautiful, but honestly I prefer the mirror polished because it's a little bit more shiny. So from the handle perspective, you're gonna see also some other differences. The overall shape, of course, is the same because the base model is like the F95. So the overall contouring is gonna be pretty much overlapping with these, with the production version, but main difference, of course, is going to be the 3D contouring, the 3D milling going on, because this guy is just like flat. If you look at it like this, on this kind of surface, it's rounded off, of course, on the edge, but there's some sort of curvature going on both the sides of the scales for these two custom divisions, which is absolutely incredible. The custom division line has these pretty cool not cut out, but just some lines which are the same, you see, in both of the knives, except for this line over here, which is missing in the F95 Antique, which is present right over here. So the main secondary lines, let's say, they are almost the same, just one small difference going on. The main difference is going to be the milling pattern, which is fantastic in both cases. But if you look maybe like this, you can see better. You see that F95 Antique has a wider pattern, which is kind of like resembling a basketball kind of deal. So you have one straight line right over here going across, and then you start to have curved lines going in different directions, and you have these parallel wider lines compared to the pinstripe lines going on in the F5 Silk Slim. And these are really cool. There's a nice pattern going on. So these are getting finer, you see, towards the pivot, and they are widening up as they get farther from the pivot itself. Same thing on this side, you see they start pretty fine, and then they open up and they widen up to create this nice contrast with the next row of lines, let's say. They are both sporting the Shirogorov logo right up to the this area over here, right above the pivot. And they are both sporting the reverse configuration for the handle screw, which is basically the opposite, sorry, as the production version, which the screw is showing on the show side. Whereas here, you just have it on the back. They have a slight difference in weight, because this is, of course, the slim version. So this guy is going to be weighing in at 4 ounces, whereas this one is 4.6 ounces. Another difference on the handle, of course, is that there's a bronze anodized finish to it, whereas this one looks like more just the regular titanium gray. Of course, they are both sporting a fantastic 3D milled titanium backspacer, which has in common the same design, but if you notice, the Silk, the F5 has a thinner backspacer, because of course this is the slim version. So this guy, it's slimmer, it's thinner, it's lighter, will have thinner scales, thinner back spacer, and thinner stock for the blade. In fact, you can see right over here. Of course, this one is the antique, which has this copper backspacer with this patina going on, which is just beautiful, whereas this one is just blue anodized titanium. But the if you can see, the machining is impeccable in both, just a little bit wider. For the F95 Antique. They are both running on single row roller bearings, which is something you can notice right over here on the inside. You have this logo, okay, and you have it also in the same spot right over here on the inside. It looks like a little sun, like sun rays. Another difference that you can see on the inside is that this is one of the older production, let's say, version of the custom division. In fact, you can see custom division and a sequential number going on. In this case, this is 408. Whereas in this case, you've got the CD 1902 and then the model number, the number of corresponding to the model. So this is the model 1902, and 21 in this case shows that this is the 21st issued of the 50 made for this guy right over here. Price-wise, it really depends on the secondary market, but they are going to be roughly around the same, which right now, as today, it's around $2,500. So these are not cheap, guys, for sure. Of course, you notice another difference right over here. F95 Antique is sporting a pivot collar, like copper pivot collar on both sides, really nicely done, whereas this is without any collar, because this is one older version, so not a big deal, but still they were not doing it back then. Also, another difference is the sound. It might not show in the video, but when you open the F5 and when you open the F95, I prefer the F5. It has a very different sound than this one. When you close it, I honestly prefer the F95. You see, the blade is lighter on the F5. Therefore, in the case of the F95, the sound is going to be a little bit louder, a little bit chunkier, and more pleasant to my ears, at least. So that's another little difference. In the hand, they both feel great. I honestly prefer, I think, like, as a feeling, I feel that the F95 being a little bit heavier and a little bit chubbier, probably it feels my hand better, and it's just so comfortable in the hand. Really nice. Also, I really like the jimping going on. It's just fantastic. Action-wise, they are pretty much the same. I mean, guys, this is something like really crazy good for both of them. So I mean, there's not really much difference for the action. Both are simply fantastic knives. So I think that you can't be wrong with any of these two guys. You know, the problem is going to be to find one and to finance one of these guys, because they are, yeah, as I said, not cheap in any ways. Also, another small difference that I noticed is that the handle screw right over here, it's smaller for the F95 Antique, and it's just a little bit bigger for the F5 Silk Slim. But beside these differences, I think they are pretty similar looking knives, and it's gonna be just a matter of taste, which one you prefer. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.